Hare Krishna. So we are continuing with the Nectar of Instruction by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Shravanam Diaries podcast, and I am your host, Sulalita Devi Dasi. So, continuing text 3, page number 29. These activities must be performed with patience. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna consciousness movement was started single-handedly, and in the beginning there was no response. But because we continued to execute our devotional activities with patience, people gradually began to understand the importance of this movement. And now they are eagerly participating. Haribol! One should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but should take instructions from the spiritual master and execute them with patience, depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. The successful execution of Krishna-conscious activities requires both patience and confidence. A newly married girl naturally expects offspring from her husband, but she cannot expect to have them immediately after marriage. Of course, as soon as she is married, she can attempt to get a child, but she must surrender to her husband, confident that her child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. No, look at that. Surrender means confidence. Surrender means confidence. Many times we hear we really need to surrender to the Lord. What does it mean? That means we have to be confident in the Lord. Haribol. The devotee thinks, Avashya Rakshibhe Krishna. Quote, Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. Unquote. This is called confidence. As already explained, one should not be idle, but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principles. Tat karma pravartana. Neglect of the regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna consciousness movement, there are 4 regulative principles: forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If we become slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked. Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Tat karma pravartanat. One must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. In addition to these 4 prohibitions, yama, the Sanskrit word is yama, there are positive regulative principles, niyama, such as the daily chanting of 16 rounds on japa mala beads. These regulative activities must be faithfully performed with enthusiasm. This is called tat karma pravartana, or varied engagement in devotional service. Furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. This includes karmis, gyanis, yogis, and other non-devotees. 1 second. Okay. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by one of his householder devotees about the general principles of Vaishnavism, as well as the general routine activities of the Vaishnava. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, asatsanga tyaga e Vaishnava char. Characteristically, a Vaishnava is one who gives up the association of worldly people or non-devotees. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has therefore recommended Tadera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas. One has to live in the company of pure devotees and execute the regulative principles laid down by the previous acharyas, the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Shri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotees and practice the regulative principles of spiritual life. Devotional service means transcendental activities. On the transcendental platform, there is no contamination by the 3 modes of material nature. This is called Vishuddha Sattva, the platform of pure goodness, or goodness free from contamination by the qualities of passion and ignorance. In this Krishna consciousness movement, we require everyone to rise early in the morning, by 4 p.m., of course p.m., by 4 a.m., and attend Mangala Arti, or morning worship. Then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform Kirtana, and so forth. So let's remember, at 4 a.m., 4 o'clock in the morning. Thus we hold continuous activities in the devotional service 24 hours a day. This is called Satovriti, or following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas, who expertly filled every moment of time with Krishna conscious activities. If one strictly follows the advice given in this verse by Srila Rupa Goswami, namely being enthusiastic, being confident, being patient, giving up the association of unwanted persons, following the regulative principles, and remaining in the association of devotees, one is sure to advance in devotional service. In this regard, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that the cultivation of knowledge by philosophical speculation, the collection of mundane opulence by the advancement of fruitive activities, and the desire for yoga siddhis, material perfections, are all contrary to the principles of devotional service. One has to become thoroughly callous to such non-permanent activities and turn his attention instead to the regulative principles of devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 2.69, Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sanisha pashyato mune. Quote, what is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Engagement in devotional service of the Lord is the life and soul of the living entity. It is the desired goal and supreme perfection of human life. One has to be confident about this, and one also has to be confident that all activities other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, fruitive work, or mystic endeavor, will never yield any enduring benefit. I'm just amazed how often we forget about this, right? This is so unfortunate. None of them are permanent. All of them are temporary, and we keep going through birth, death, old age, disease, but somehow or other we always end up running after them until we become pure devotees. So yes, this is very important to keep in mind, to remember, and to follow. Because I think, especially now, there's entire industry on the internet which is directed to engage our attention and turn our intentions towards non-permanent activities. Really, it's like in your face, right? So, complete confidence in the path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal. Oh, this is so beautiful. Complete confidence in the path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal. See, confidence is something you need in spiritual life as well, not only material. But attempting to follow other paths will only succeed in making one restless. In the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, quote, "One must be calmly convinced, one must be calmly convinced that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerities for other purposes are not purified in their minds, despite their advanced austerities, because they have no information of the transcendental, loving service of the Lord." Jai, we're going to stop here on this beautiful point and praying to always remember the desirable goal of transcendental, loving, blissful, devotional service to the Lord. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description, and we shall see you next time. Hare Krishna.